That kind of motion is really Sonic-y too. Like, I think there's a part in Green Hill Zone that does that. It's still in a minor key, it sounds like. It's just really uplifting with what it does in that minor key. What's good? Let's analyze some video game music. So, I let people in my Discord chat suggest songs from game soundtracks for me to listen to and try to analyze live as I hear it. If you want to catch one of these without edits, you can check out case.dog/stream. Let's do one that Mars suggested. This is actually from Sonic CD, Stardust Speedway, Good Future, JP. All right, so I haven't played Sonic CD, but I know enough about the music in it. I know like a little bit of trivia. In America, the Sonic CD soundtrack is actually different than the Japan one. That is because of like licensing issues, because a lot of the songs were a bit too similar to some of the songs they were trying to emulate. So depending on which version you get, there's either the Japanese music or the English music. Let's listen to this. Stardust Speedway, Good Future. Got some disco bass going. Hi-hat loops. Okay, yeah. Okay, I do know a version of this song that's the minor one. We got that synth brass doing the main melody line. Whoa. There's like a pitched down vocal sample in there. And some like other vocal accent samples. Big 4 on the floor bass. It's actually not that big, it's just sort of muted. Bumping. Got those belly kind of synths up top. I can't tell what that's saying. It almost sounds like faster and like an accent. So it sounds like the bass motion doesn't change, but the bass line does between sections. Could be wrong though. Could just be the way that it's positioned there. All right. The good future of Stardust Speedway. The thing, okay, so Sonic CD, I never really wrapped my head around it. There's like 3 versions of every stage. Is that how that works? Where like, each one has like a normal and then a good and bad future? Or there's some that only have like good and bad tracks? Let's figure out the bass line. It starts with D. And then moves down to A. So... yeah. So we're starting to move between D and A on the bass line. And doing like some funky, you know, slapping and accents. Not really slapping, it sounds like a sample. And it sounds like that just keeps looping. It does something a little more complex here once the melody comes in, actually. And then goes back to the simple one-for-one loop. Okay, so for a second it steps down to... It steps down to E, which is a second of the scale. But is also a fourth below A, which it's moving to next, which is technically doing like a 5-1 on it. But it's also what you would do on an electric bass if you wanted to, you know, throw in a filler note because it's just 1 fret lower. All right. Yeah. So that's our main, like, accent melody. And I definitely know that that's, like, recontextualized in the Bad Future version, because I've heard that one and it's got the same melody. Then we got that wild, low vocal sample, like doubling a higher up synth. Okay, yeah. And each time it introduces a melody, it doesn't seem to, like, vary the melody. It'll loop the melody a few times through, and then loop a different melody a few times through. And it never does more than one at a time. So we either get this, or we get the, but it doesn't seem to be layering them at all. It just sort of trades off what's doing on top of the bass line. Yeah, I lied. Okay, so there it actually is. There it's playing like the brass synth, while it's doing the on the bells above it. And now it actually varies that and adds like a couple extra notes to the descent. Yeah. Okay, so it does have a little bit of variation on that lower melody, but it's mostly repeating the same phrase and tweaking things each time. It's very clubby. There's an ever so slight chord pad that's just doing... Ah, I think it's doing that. So it's technically playing like a D minor add 9, and then a C add 9, I think. Or it may not be including that root. It may just be doing F major 7, E minor 7. And that sounds like it's the only like chord thing going on. And just adds a little bit of tonal color, that kind of motion is really Sonic-y too. Like, I think there's a part in Green Hill Zone that does that. So, keeping true to its roots. This is groovy. I definitely see how this is uplifting. But even so, it's still in a minor key, it sounds like. It's just really uplifting with what it does in that minor key. It just grooves through the minor key. Very simple production on this. We got the beat going. Doing that 4 on the floor thing, sometimes hitting some extra. And we got like a... We got like fast hi-hats and stuff going on too. Then the bass line is just doing like almost like a standard kind of disco bass line, while different melodies take turns kind of playing over it. And under the whole thing, there's this just funky chord happening. Gluing it all together. I really dig this. I'm gonna say this is the first 5 out of 5 track. Not just because I like Sonic. It is simple, but it uses what it does really well, and it grooves. This is gonna be my first 5 out of 5. That was Sonic CD, Stardust Speedway, Good Future. There's something about that. Sometimes it's not about the complexity or how interesting something is. Sometimes it's just about the vibe. How did I do? Did you like the video? If you did, hit like. If you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe and hit that bell to see when new videos go up. What do you think about the song? Is it nostalgic for you at all? Is there anything you think I missed? Leave a comment below. I just started doing this, so I would appreciate any and all feedback. If you want to catch one of these live, go to case.dog/stream. And if you want to submit a song yourself for me to listen to, you can check out my Discord channel for it at case.dog/VGM. See you next time.